Hello, neckbeards, talking about comic books. All right, we were trying to come up with some, like an opening theme music, perhaps? Maybe? No? Well, all the same, welcome back to the Comics Coffee Table. Indeed, our place to put aside the world's worries just for a couple of minutes in a day and talk about comic books with each other. I mean, how hard could that be? So here's to you. Thank you for being here. This show doesn't work without you. You are the most important ingredient in our recipe, our conversation. We've been having this conversation. We started it early last year. It's the show is over a year old now. Yay! And we found our audience. We found each other. We found this conversation, and it's 3 p.m. U.S. Eastern daily. Yeah, come aboard. Like and subscribe. If you haven't subscribed yet, hit that notification button. I swear, you will eventually learn how to tell time. You'll be like, it must be 3 p.m. U.S. Eastern. This is that time thing they've been talking about all my life, isn't it? Well, it's time to talk about comic books. That's right. We're taking these two books this year. All right. This was my Christmas present, and this is for my parents. So I dedicate this season to my mom and my stepdad, Hoppy Poppy. His nickname's Hoppy. And so I call him Hoppy Poppy. He loves that. You know, I love him. He puts up with my ma. I love you guys. And all my family, too. I'm very grateful for one of the foundation and keystone of my daily gratitude lists. And, but yeah, we're using the Overstreet Comic Book Price Guide, most latest edition. And we're going to be using the Guide to Grading Comics, the Overstreet Guide to Grading Comics. We are going to go through my entire comic book collection. We're going to rebag, reboard, and rebox everything, specifically reboxing everything. I'm so blessed that my comics were not damaged. They are in my basement. I had to save at least 2 long boxes worth of comic books, and they got a little damp, and it was just the long box that was affected. Just a little bit of corner mold, wetness, moisture. You can see the telltale signs. And you know what? Drop, stop, and do something about that. Don't let that spread to your comic books. Move them. Find a better place. They are literally, you have exchanged papers. You exchange the paper of your money for the paper of this magazine. And there's a husbandry and a responsibility to us to maintain this for as long as we can. I hope that's not one of those Marvel things. We're going to get to that in a minute. Also, this is the time of the show. I just want to tell you, one of the missions of this show is to get you back to your local comic book shop and buying things. And specifically, supplies, bags, boards. I got the wrong bags. I need My Lights or its equal. They're on back order. Boxes. I use short boxes now. So I'm taking the opportunity to transfer those comics from those old, damaged long boxes into something a little bit more manageable. I did a test. I stepped on the scale, and then I stepped off the scale, and then I stepped back on the scale with a full long box of Funnybooks. And each one of these long boxes weighs about 50 pounds. So yeah, and the older I get, the heavier they get. So I'm going to do something about it now while I'm doing something about it. Hopefully you're inspired to go to your local comic book shop, not Amazon. I mean, I know I'm probably paying a markup, and I could be getting some kind of deal or break by buying long boxes or boards on Amazon. But I need to make the conscious choice to redistribute my wealth. Yes, as a first world person in America, one of the most opulent societies ever in the history of humanity. I can make the choice to redistribute my wealth, and I'm going to do that to my local comic book shop. We need to keep them open. They need us. We need them. Once they're gone, they're gone. You will have like a vintage record store here or there, but the local comic book shop, as we know it today, these are mom and pop operations, and they have their own lifetimes and lifespans. And so let's enjoy our local comic book shops. We can help keep them open by patronage, going there and spending our money. And especially supplies. You need them, I need them. We're doing this. We're talking about comic books. I just want to make it an announcement. I am not a professional grader. I am simply learning. I'm using these books in my comic book collection to get a better understanding of grading comic books and their intrinsic value, and which is relative on their grade, And this is going to be a good way to learn something new about my lifelong love and hobby. Hopefully you probably have issues at home too that you can, do they need a backboard? Do you need an acid-free backboard? Do you need a new long box? May I suggest a short box instead? There are even like premier hard plastic ones that are like short box style that are made for like your most valuable, the holy of holies, perhaps the tabernacle. Indeed, but I am not a professional grader. This show is about me learning, our conversations, and it's about entertainment only. So please, professional grading questions, go to professional graders. I'm a hobbyist, and this is a great way to spin your hobby. Have a cuppa. Pull up to the coffee table, please. Our coffee table. The coffee table was where my friends would assemble. We would have like music going. If someone needed to dump out the ashtray, we could have been all late nighters drinking beer or whatnot. And but there would always be a stack of books, a stack of comic books as well, and a stack of movies, and something playing in the background, and always a lively, charming conversation among friends. And that is our coffee table. It started with a coffee table book, serving my coffee table, and that coffee table book will continue to serve my coffee table in the future if you don't really see it in the background. But all the same, you can actually look in the description of the show for Amazon links to get your own copies at home. You can play along at home, and you can learn how to grade, and you can better value your collection while preserving its value and its life with new supplies. Well, let's get to it. We are at the end of our 2002 buy. We started probably about mid-2002, about the summertime. Started buying new comic books again, and they've accumulated, and they mostly all need bags and boards. And what did you do to this one? Oh, gosh darn it. And this is why we bag and board. What did you do to that poor funny book, Sully? What did that funny book ever do to you? Well, that's going down. Maybe I can press it or something, or do something. Hopefully it's not like a major crease. I think that just happened. I just found that. We could have lucked out. But I could have put that into a bag and a board as soon as I brought it home, which we're going to do from now on, as you saw with yesterday's new releases. That was fun. I love going to the comic book shop on new release day. I love looking at someone else's stack and asking, hey, what are you getting? Oh, we got the same thing. Look at that. Talking to the comic book shop people, the people at the register, the manager, the owners, they're always around. And it's a nice culture, and that's what we seek to recreate here. It's just like having, we're just going to talk about comic books. Yeah, that's it. Nothing else. And yeah, so let's get to it. These comic books. This was a suggestion I picked up from my friend Gray, who you also know as Wakazashi's Tea House. And he has his own station, and he does really good comic book content. He's a current reader. He came into my YouTube sphere when I started coming on Wes's Thinking Critical station a lot. He kept me on. Keeps inviting me back. I don't know why. And it's fun. I mean, I will try to always say yes if he needs someone for a Saturday morning. And I met a lot of people through this show in the live chat right now. You know what I mean? One's in the chat if we met through Wes. I mean, seriously, God bless you, Wes. Thank you so much. He took an interest in me. He saw what I was producing. He followed me on Twitter one day. And then one day he just started inviting me on the show. So hey, make your own content. Get good at it. You get good at it if you keep doing it. I mean, sometimes I look back on last year's video and I cringe. But it's like, so what? I mean, that's progress. We got a good show out of this. I'm loving it. So, I got 5 funny books here, and they're all military themed. And like I was saying, Gray suggested this when he picked it up. It was Sergeant Rock #1. Sergeant Rock versus the Army of the Dead. It's on the DC Horror imprint. This is a brand new funny book. It's a limited series of 6 issues, and here we go. That's issue 1 right there. Yep, and it's written by Bruce Campbell. Bruce Campbell is the actor. If Chins Could Kill, he was most notably known for playing Ash in the Evil Dead series. He's also a Sam Raimi staple actor. Sam Raimi loves to put Bruce Campbell in his Spider-Man movies, and these nice cameos are like, hey, it's the guy from Evil Dead, the other Raimi movies. And Bruce Campbell captures the voice of not just Sergeant Rock, but Easy Company, and it's just really, really, really fun. Because I grew up reading my Uncle Eddie's war comics. My dad would get me on a weekend, a Saturday or a Sunday. He'd pick me up in his shitbox car. He would drive over to his mother's house, probably double park, because there was absolutely no fucking parking on Sunday in Southie. It's amazing. There's dog shit in the sidewalks everywhere. Fucking people yelling out their windows. Bobby, get me a pack of fucking smokes and bring back my change. No, Ma, I gotta get down. It's the sounds of South Boston. But we would go over to his ma's place, my nana's, and for Sunday dinner, and I would immediately hit my Uncle Eddie's room, and he had a stack of war comics, mid 1970s, late 1970s, Sergeant Rock, Haunted Tank, GI Combat, The Unknown Soldier, Sergeant Fury and his Howlin' Commandos, and the occasional issue of Soldier of Fortune, which blew my mind. The ad sections in the back of magazines, totally. So these magazines too, these ad sections, the older the magazine is, the more interesting the ads are to me. So I've got 4 out of the 6 of these so far. I got a Francavilla, the Francavilla. We all know I love him. This is his variant, and it went for $1 more than the regular cover price. See, these are $3.99. This was $4.99, but this is the Francavilla. This is the variant cover, and I can get it. Yeah, I mean, I go to a local comic book store. If it's a nice variant cover, you know what? I'm going to get it. And if it's at a good price, I'm going to get it. Okay, I got this one. This is Batman 130, very issue of notoriety. Yet, there's no cover price on this. But this is a 1 in 25 variant cover. And it went for $16 on new release. Wednesday. Well, Tuesday, technically, for DC Comics. They wanted to buck the system a bit. See, they all broke from their regular distributor, Diamond, and all went rogue. So now there are like 4 or 5 major distributors. And DC, their new release day is on Tuesday. Yeah. Everyone else is Wednesday. I guess it's all an illusion anyway, because they get the physical copies perhaps several days before the Wednesday new release day anyway. So, I'm tuned into these comic book people that own comic book shops and have big YouTube stations, and they're like, oh yeah, we got next week's comics already. And let me tell you, there are a few stinkers that I can't talk about. And I'm like, oh, that's cool. So yeah, comic books basically, there's like, some comic books will sell you new comic books under the table before new release day, but that's in bad practice. That would be dishonorable. So yeah, so let's bag and tag. Let's bag and tag. Oh, that's awful. That's like, what they do in, well, what's this well, Sergeant Rock and the Versus the Army of the Dead. Eduardo Risso, amazing art. The Germans have found a way to reanimate the corpses of their fallen stormtroopers and soldiers, therefore giving them an inexhaustible source of zombie Nazis. Dun dun dun. Indeed, zombie Nazis. So it's all the Nazis you ever wanted to punch in the face, but were afraid to go out there and assert yourself with. This is set in World War II, when there were actual National Socialists from Germany trying to take over the known world and doing diabolical, devious, evil things. And it took the combined might of the world to crush this literal evil. Not just someone on Twitter you disagree with, Muffin. No, these are, look at that, Nazi zombies. Yes, so you can kill them twice. And it follows the rules of zombie shows. Like, you got to have a headshot to put one down. And the art's really good. I mean, 100 Bullets was years ago. That was a long time ago now. But that was a Vertigo title with Eduardo Risso and written by Brian Azzarello. But, I mean, let me tell you, 100 Bullets, that was so good. And I kept an eye on Risso ever since. Oh, does it have a ding? Is that a ding? Is that a ding in the corner? That might be a ding in the corner. Oh, Larry, you got a ding in the corner. Only MC knows that one. Oh, man. Indeed, we've got one more comic book, and then we'll be done with 2022, and then we can start getting to the 2023 new releases that we're going to have. So we'll have a very short supply of those. So I'm thinking about just doing new releases on Sundays. Yeah, do that. And we'll call it New Release Sunday. Give us something to look forward to, and there we go. We have bagged, boarded, and next, what are we going to do? We're going to box them. I'm going to file them later differently, but here we go. This is 2022's comics so far. A lot of these are, about half of these are crowdfunded and came in the mail in Gemini mailers. But I support independent arts as a patron. I'm a blue collar patron of the arts. I'm supporting these crowdfunded comics. And I don't want to get negative on the show. There's plenty of stuff out there for that. You get your kicks on Route 66. That's what we're saying here. Where did it go? It's around here somewhere. You'll find it. Oh, here you are. One of the very few Marvel comics I bought in the calendar year of 2022 was this. The only reason why I bought it was I'm getting to use creators' names as my filters on what I will buy. And it's more likely of whom I will buy. And there are, we've done episodes before about crowdfunding. Mostly all the people in the Indiegogo crowdfunding sphere are anathema to modern comic book editors and writers. There's a real awful kind of war of culture going on between the old guard who've been kind of like pushed out of the big two superhero comic books and have been replaced with academics who believe in a different style and of modernity and of storytelling, and they're there to push more in real life items into the fiction spaces. Sure. So these people and the new creators, they feel, they really do. They feel like they're the good guys, and they're trying to preserve culture. They're trying to preserve America or the West as a guiding light for the world. And by doing that, they need an oppressor or an other. Their thing just doesn't work without an oppressor. And so there are oppressors out there in comics, apparently. Yeah, they use racy jokes and dark humor and things that you would find on shock jock stations in the 1990s and early 2000s. Yes, time is going on, but we all, I'm of their generation, and we still think these things can be funny and there's a place for it, while there's an entire thing of, you're adjacent to a hate group. You are enabling them. You are platforming them. You are amplifying their voices to people. These people are harmful to people I love. And just, they're so well intended. They really are. But I'm a smart guy, and I'm not sold on this. I'm for people being people, and people being just respected, and we're all sharing the same soul. I mean, there's nothing more, trans, non-binary than your spirit, than your soul. Your spirit doesn't have a gender. Your spirit doesn't know time. You know what I mean? And we all could be sharing the same splinter of God's soul. That's just my own personal thing. But I mean, when it comes to Marvel Comics, I got to be careful of what I buy. I don't get from certain creators that I know who have blocked me on Twitter and social media because of that, that little worked up voice I did. Well, those are their reasons. And I'm on a list of bad people, and I've been excluded. So why would I want to give them my money, my attention, my long box space, or any love? I've been honestly judged by them. And in a scary way too, and it's unpersonal. No interactions. Yeah, you like the wrong tweet, you follow the wrong creator. You know what I mean? You might have said something salty about, a certain character. Yeah, but here I am with this huge comic book collection. Who am I to have an opinion of modern characters and modernity? Changing the product. Who am I? I mean, I'm nobody. Exactly, because, that's what you can do to a nobody. You silence them. You corral them. You put them on a list. You take care of them. So the Marvel creators seem to do it most, and it just intellectually horrifies me. So, with that said, being on Wes's show, I need to be buying comic books in order to have an opinion and have something to suggest to other readers. I use the creators that they're most positive about as a lens, and I've been really pleased with what I got. So one of my honorable mentions of 2022 that I never mentioned. There's your honorable mention. This is the Alien 2022 annual. I love annuals. This is $4.99. It's a thicker story. I mean, it's a complete story. It figures in to what's going on. I can recognize elements of the synthetics and how they look in the new video games. I'm like, oh, there's some syzygy there. Okay, I see that. But Marvel has the Alien license now. It's no longer with Dark Horse. Philip Kennedy Johnson is writing this. He does an amazing job over on Action Comics. And there's a couple of other things out there I need to be picking up on. I have a list going on now of things I gotta catch up on. So just using Philip Kennedy Johnson's name alone and being pleased when I picked up his Action Comics stuff, I gave this a chance. Art by Salvador Larroca. He does the inks as well. Huge X-Men fan here. All right, I love Salvador Larroca. This is a great story set in the universe of the alien xenomorphs and the space marines who hunt them and are hunted by them. And with synthetic people who may or may not be helping us either. It's a great universe. Since 1979's Ridley Scott Alien, 86 Jim Cameron's Aliens, and all the movies ever since. This was a fun story. And so, yeah, but we had nothing but military magazines today. And no need to look up their book value because they are going, they're new. They're going right into the bag, board, and the box. All right, we've been talking about comic books, and we're going to talk about comic books every day for the rest of the year. So tune in tomorrow, 3 p.m. U.S. Eastern, and we'll find out who we're talking about when we turn the page tomorrow. Please like and subscribe. I would love to earn your subscription. We make daily content here. Talk about comic books every day. I'm a professional chef. I got cooking videos. I'm an amateur theologian, an ordained minister. We get spiritual here. Talk about gratitude and blessings a lot. Thank you so very much. Tune in, and we will see you again tomorrow in those funny pages. Ciao. Bye-bye.